Hey everyone, this is Johnny FD, founder of DropshipLab.com. I'm really excited to show you how you can 10x your dropshipping income. So even if you're not a member of Dropship Lab, I wanted to be able to give you this information anyways, because I think it's so helpful for anyone who is running some type of dropshipping store to be able to really get from, the first goal of making enough money where you can live and you can travel and you can replace your 9 to 5 salary, but then the next big goal, which is getting to the 6-figure mark. And here are some secrets. I never made more than $5,000 a month per dropshipping store. So that was like the best month. On average, if you go to johnnyfd.com and look at any of my income reports, I usually make about $2,000 to $3,000 a month per store. And even though that's great, and it's been able to replace my old salary, working cubicle, and no longer had to commute to a job that I hated, wake up early to iron my dress shirt and put on a tie and sit in traffic to go to a job that wasn't very fulfilling. I'm able to work from my laptop, from a coffee shop, or pretty much anywhere in the world I want, and I have now, and it's been amazing. But that alone has not been able to get me to the 6-figure mark. And the reason why the 6-figure mark was so important for me personally was growing up, my parents, being Asian parents, they always wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer or something where I can, be successful. And my cousins, I have a cousin who's a doctor, I have a cousin who's a lawyer, I have a cousin who, is an accountant, and, all these people who do so well, and I always kind of felt like, even though I was chasing my dream of, traveling and seeing the world and doing things I loved, these passions I loved, it was really hard to be able to kind of face reality, especially when I turned 30. And I figured, I need to actually have a real income so I can not only take care of myself, but I can take care of my parents as they get older. I can, have people not worry, things like that. So really, I was really grateful that with my first dropshipping store, I've been able to make, $3,000 plus consistently. But that is kind of the average profits. And yeah, I have met people who have made $10,000 a month from the stores. And, I'm sure a lot of people who make more than that just don't talk about it. They don't have time to post online or, share their store on YouTube because they're busy running a store. The average time commitment. So how much time does it actually take to run a store? Well, when you're, first building it, it's a full-time job, right? Some people can do it in, after work on weekends. So I know people who have built a store in as little as 15 or 20 hours a week. But for me, it was like a 30-hour week, right? It was almost a full-time job for the first 2 months of building it up. Some people take longer, some people take shorter. But on average, after the store is up and running, they normally only take a few hours a day. I mean, there's not really that much to do after you've set up the store. I had all the products uploaded, you've optimized everything, and sales start coming in. And you can kind of take a break. So, on average, it might only take an hour a day. So that's actually not that much time. But what happens is once in a while, like maybe once a month or once every 2 months, which isn't that often if you think about it, but you wake up and you have these huge headaches because something out of your control happened. FedEx goes on strike, or there's a shipping port dispute where the products are not getting to the manufacturer, so the manufacturer is running out of stock and they can't get to you because something happened. The email system at the supplier just randomly went down for their IT department messed up. These are things that are usually out of your control, and to be quite frank, are part of every business. So it's not because you have a dropshipping business or because you have an online business. These things happen with every single type of business, and every business has their share of headaches. So I, basically, once a month, I expect to wake up and have to put out fires and spend, 4 hours or 6 hours calling, emailing, figuring things out, apologizing to customers for their shipment being late or chasing down stock somewhere else. And what started happening is I started, waking up every morning just anxious and nervous. I would wake up, every morning at 7:30 and go straight to my email because I'm like, if something happened, I need to work on it right now before the US time zone changes. And it's, I don't want to call people at 9 p.m., right? So being in Thailand and being, doing this location independently has all these benefits. But the downside of it is the time zone. It's a little bit easier if you're in the US because then, you can pick up your phone. You can have everything kind of forwarded to your cell phone and it's 2 p.m. You're like, okay, these things are happening. Let me pull over and let me figure these things out. Still can be a headache. But what happens is I started personally getting too invested and getting, very stressed out, even though most days would be fine. Most days I'd wake up anxious going to the office, opening my laptop and being like, "Phew, nothing bad happened today. Everything's fine." 29 days will pass. Everything's fine. I'm making, $3,000 a month plus, and I should be enjoying life. But that one day that there's a customer gives me the wrong shipping address and it's completely their fault and they didn't bother to tell us for 2 weeks, that becomes a huge headache. So this is why I'm sharing this, because I want you guys to kind of see you guys are not alone. If you're running a dropshipping store or any business, this is a great first step. And, thinking back to having a normal job when I worked in a normal office in a cubicle, I had stress and anxiety every day because, life and business is stressful. So it has nothing to do with dropshipping itself, but you are a business owner. So what does this course help you with? I wanted to kind of show you not only what is possible, but what are the kind of more realistic steps to go from making a couple $1,000s a month, or even zero, which I'll talk about in a second, to get to a true 6-figure income. And the reason why 6 figures is so important is not only do you feel like you're successful, but also you have enough financial freedom that you can get into whatever you want. You can open a brick and mortar business. You can start importing, physical goods into Amazon or sell on other marketplaces. You have the freedom to do anything you like. So in the first, a couple of lectures in section 1, I'm just showing you what I've personally done, and you might be doing more. I mean, there are people who make a lot more money than I do with dropshipping, and I met some of them, and I asked them, like, why don't you talk about it more? Why don't you share your screenshots? And they're like, they don't have a reason to, or they're busy. So not every single person, they're not everyone's priority is to share and pass down information to others. And nobody has an obligation to, right? So if someone has $100,000 a year business, they're making $10K a month in profits, they're probably busy and they probably have a life. So this is why courses like this exist, is because we have a reason, I have an incentive to actually sit down and spend 40 hours of creating a course like Dropship Lab, filming all the videos, uploading it all, and offering it to people like you. So in lecture 2, I show you what is how much revenue I've made from my stores and what is possible, as well as some tips and secrets kind of inside how to maximize the revenue. Then in lecture 3, same thing, the profit. What is the actual profits? Where do those come from? What are the expenses? What are the hidden expenses? How to maximize the profits. So section 2, I actually wasn't going to include in this course. I wanted this course actually to be just for people who are already making, $1,000 plus per month from the dropshipping stores, because I know 100% that if you have already, you already have sales, if you go through this course within, I think someone left a review saying within an hour they made back their money on this course, because just one of these formulas, one of these tips will get you there. But I know that a lot of people are just starting out. They don't know if they have the time or the money to invest in a course like Anton's, which is a great course. That's what I took to get started. So I do talk about it in lecture 4. I say, I explain the pros and cons of going through a course like Anton's. What are your alternatives? Why it helps, with for what type of people it helps for, things like that. But in 5 and 6, I actually show you 2 ways that if you really wanted to get started on your own, if you're the type that you're like, I don't care, I'm just gonna do it on my own anyways, because there's lots of information out there. I can watch YouTube videos and read books and things like that. I wanted to at least guide you, say, you know what, I do recommend you take a course, because there are so many benefits, which I explain in the paid shortcuts formula. And I'll show you actually why the ROI, even if you are successful, is still better than trying to do it for free. But I don't want to leave anyone in the dark. I don't want to leave anyone, holding the bag, because the worst thing that can happen is you hear about this great opportunity, which dropshipping is, and you wait months, 3 months go by, 6 months go by, and you still haven't gotten started. It's lost money. And I know some of you, think like your time's not worth anything. But it is. I promise you it is. I wasted so many years of my life thinking my time is not worth anything. And now I regret it. So I don't want anyone to regret it. I want you guys to start right away, even if you either don't have the money to join a course, like an expensive, full-on step-by-step course like Anton's that's beginners friendly, or, if you just have the personality where you don't want to do it. So 5 and 6, this is for you guys. Unfortunately, Dropship Lab is not a 0 to hero course. It is how to 10x your dropshipping income. And if you have 0 dropshipping income right now, if you 10x it, it's still 0. So you got to start somewhere. Section 2 is where you start. So in lecture 7, this is actually where it gets really exciting. This is where Dropship Lab really starts. All right. This is when I start showing you, simple math pretty much on how to make more money with your store. And in lecture 7, this is the conversion formula. I show you exact breakdowns on how you can double your conversion rate and triple your profit. And it almost sounds crazy, but when I actually showed you, kind of step by step how to do it and how I've done it for myself, you'll see like, wow, for the exact same amount of visitors, the exact same amount of ad spend, and advertising is expensive, so you don't want to spend more than you need to. You can triple your profits in it. If you want the full, optimized course, I have a course on it. It's called Optimize Like a Boss, and you can go to optimizelikeaboss.com. Lecture 7 is more of an overview of it and why it's important and how to kind of get started with it. And that should be enough for anyone in this course to really get started and kind of wrap your head around why it's so important to increase your conversion rates. A lot of people don't even know what your conversion rates are right now. So if you don't even know what yours are right now, you are leaving money on the table. And it could be, literally you can triple your profit. So in lecture 8, I talk about why it is so amazing and how you can take advantage of being location independent. There's so many people who have a profitable dropshipping store and they think, I'm only making $1,000 a month. I can't really afford to move to a place like Thailand yet, or move to, somewhere in Europe yet, because, my bills are too expensive. My rent is more than that. So I do the math and I show you all the different loopholes on living location independently. And I didn't want to do this just for Americans because even though, personally, I figured all that out for myself, I wanted to kind of at least, touch on how it works for people in other countries, people in the UK or Canada or Australia. There's a lot of countries that you can take advantage of being location dependent and not having your home state or your home, town, province be your primary residence. And I have personally saved tens of thousands of dollars a year, $16,000+ a year, just by traveling like year round. And I still go, I still spend plenty of time with my friends, my family. I see my parents all the time. And, if you can be able to travel and enjoy yourself for free, why wouldn't you do that? And this really explains how to not only take advantage of tax savings, but lower cost of living, and all these breaks that you get from both the government and just life. Definitely go through this section, even if you don't think that you are in the in the situation where you can start traveling yet. And if you are traveling already, make sure you're taking advantage of these savings. So in lecture 9, I talk about how, so if you're traveling and you're flying all the time, you don't really want to spend all your money on plane tickets, right? Especially if you want to start flying things like business class, that I really enjoy flying just because it's so much better on your body. It just feels nicer. With just a normal store, for one of my just average stores, I was getting $600 a month in just bonus rewards that I can use worldwide to stay in hotels, to fly with. So pretty much every 2 months, I can fly a round trip anywhere in the world. Or I can kind of save up, a few more months and fly business class somewhere. So this does not work just for Americans. I mean, and this is one of the misconceptions. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to record these videos and offer this course, is so many people just automatically hear, this, BS on different forums, on Reddit, on Facebook, and people are like, oh, that's just for Americans. It's not. I actually did it for you guys. I went in, and this is the reason why this lecture is 15 minutes long, is I went in and I looked at different countries. I looked at Canada, I looked at the UK, I looked at Australia. I'm like, whatever country you're in, there are reward cards that you can use that people just don't know where to look, or people just listen to people who say they've done it, but they haven't. And here, this is the biggest difference between me and some random person that you listen to advice on Reddit or on an anonymous forum somewhere, is I've actually done it myself, and I care. I'm here. I'm a real person. And I want you guys to be successful. And it just really frustrates me when people give false information out there. And here's the thing is, I guess they don't really have, sometimes they have good intentions, right? Or maybe they're just regurgitating bad information that they heard somewhere else, but they're not really accountable to it. So if something I teach you in this course doesn't work and you guys paid for it, that's going to hurt me because, you can leave bad reviews. You can, refund the course. You can, message me saying, hey, Johnny, your information's wrong. Then I have an accountability to go fix it, to go out, re-record the videos, get the updated current information. I have an accountability. Some random guy that's anonymous online, if they give you terrible information and it costs you thousands of dollars, or worse yet, thousands in opportunity, they have no accountability at all. And that's why I personally never listen to anyone, who doesn't have a stake in the game, especially if they haven't done it themselves. So next on is the affiliate cash formula. You can double your monthly profit just by integrating affiliate commission into your stores and your websites and your blogs. And I'm not just talking about your personal blog, even though that's a huge part of it, but also on your dropshipping store side of it. So you have a store, guess what? You have customers that already, want to buy whatever is in your niche. They're interested in that topic or, that niche, whether it's home design or it can be, audio, maybe they're audiophile or whatever your niche is, right? Like, I don't know if it's furniture or some kind of hobby. They're interested in that. They are paying customers. They're not the cheap butts. They are spending money, and you have the email addresses. You have a relationship with them. Why wouldn't you market to them and offer them things that maybe you aren't approved for as a supplier yourself or don't fit the criteria? Maybe it's too cheap of an item or too expensive an item or too branded where you can't sell it because you're not an authorized dealer for them. You didn't get approved for them. Or maybe they're just accessory items, or maybe they're digital products. Maybe they're an ebook or course or something. Why wouldn't you make more money offering your customers something that they already need and they already want? And on your other side, I show you how I've made tons of money on another 6 figures just by promoting things that generally work for my business. So imagine if you owned an offline business, right? Let's say it is a laundromat or something, right? You a dry cleaner, and there's a way where you can share information with other dry cleaners, maybe not direct competitors, maybe the ones that aren't in your area in other states or something, right? And you guys can share information that has helped either make you more money by marketing and getting more customers, or how to save money, get, let's say the supplies or the equipment at wholesale. If there is a way to do that, why wouldn't you share that? Especially if you can get paid for doing so. So I do have a full affiliate course. It's earnestaffiliate.com. Feel free to join that. That is more about how to start a personal brand or a blog or YouTube channel, podcast, website, whatever it is, and integrate, your hobbies, whether that be business and entrepreneurship, or it could be, something completely unrelated. We have students who have all different types of hobbies, and this is how you start your following. You can build your reach, your email list, your subscribers, your readers, all organically, no SEO, no crazy SEO required, no private blog networks, no paid ads, nothing like that. Just build your following and your readership through just very simple tactics, right? Very simple, value added ways. And if you want to join that, it's earnestaffiliate.com. But Lecture 10 will get you started on it. And on Lecture 11, this is how you get paid 2 years in advance per store. And I explain to you, and I go into detail on how I sold my first dropshipping store for $60,000. Everything behind it. I know I talked about it a little bit publicly already, but this kind of goes, in deep on how to actually get it done, the strategy behind it, why it's important, why every single person with a dropshipping store should even consider it. And it's one of those really things that, if you're making a couple $1,000s a month, you might be very tempted just to keep that, just hold on to that, because you're like, oh, well, this is, nice money, it's coming in, it's regular. But in this lecture, you're going to see why financially it is such a benefit to flip a store, and how you can build stores from the scratch to flip as well. And in lecture 12, this is how you can, every single person, that has a successful store, how you can make an extra $100 to $200 an hour just by helping other people either get started or with things that you are specifically good at that other people are not good at. So personally, I suck at uploading CSV files. I'm not very good at paid ads. There's a lot of things that I am personally not good at. So I happily have other people help me with it. And these are things that, people like me as a store owner, I'm happy to pay $100, even $200 an hour to have people help me with, either whether it's through Skype or the phone or in person, doesn't really matter. And I guarantee that there's something that you are personally good at that other people are not good at because you figured it out. And this can be anything. It could be how to set up taxes in your country if you live outside of the US, or how to set up, XYZ. Or accounting, or the advertising process, or uploading products, or formatting, design, all these different things. There are so many things that you're just leaving on the table that you can be getting paid $200 an hour for. All right, and why not then? Once people are willing to pay for it, is instead of you having the same conversation over and over, you can create a course on how to do exactly that. And in this lecture, I show you how to set that up, how to get your first clients, how to figure out your pricing, how to figure out your niches, and how, why it's such a easy way to have a complete side income while really genuinely helping people get started. So I hope this was this was useful. Even if you're not a member of Dropship Lab yet, I wanted you to have enough information where you can kind of get started. But if you did want to join, people already are saying great things about it. Curtis Bean said, Johnny has some great tips and tricks in this course that's simple but often overlooked ways to increase your income as a dropshipper. Check it out. You can definitely make your money back just by implementing just one of these tricks. So if you already got something out of this free video, I guarantee you, if you join Dropship Lab, you're going to get so much more. Ian also said he highly recommends Dropship Labs. He just signed up last weekend. He binge watched all the modules, kind of like Game of Thrones, I guess, when you just watch all the episodes back to back. He said great content throughout. Johnny really goes deep on how to get the most out of your stores. $50 will earn you'll earn it back in an hour. So right now, this course is actually only $50. I don't know when you're watching this, it might be a lot more. But this was just like the promo when I started. If you go to dropshiplab.com and you enter your email, it'll take you to the video where I kind of explain a little bit more about what the course is. And then it gives you the option to buy. Right now, it takes you to Udemy, which is where I host the course. And they have a rule right now where no course can be sold for more than $50. I think they're trying to go for, they're trying to do a price cap for everywhere. But by the time you're watching this, I might have moved it onto my own platform, because the price of this course really should be $200. That is what it's worth for the amount of contents in there. And as you can see, from the reviews so far, people get a lot out of this course, especially if you already have a store. But even if you don't, like, you just want to kind of know exactly how to get started, and you want me to go in depth and show you kind of screen shares on and real numbers on how to do all of this, it really is a no-brainer. So check it out. Hopefully you can still get in at the discount price, but even if not, I promise you it's worth it. There's always going to be a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you binge watch it all and you're like, oh, this isn't for me, you can just return it. No harm feelings. But I really think that you're going to enjoy the course. So check out dropshiplab.com, and I'll see you inside. Bye-bye.